Right now, we are reconvening from closed session to open session. Were there any actions taken in closed session?
None taken.
None taken? Okay. And then at this time, we have the invocation led by me and the, one second, and followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by trustee Prendergast. I'm just looking for my invocation here. Sorry. Here it is. Last week, we witnessed a tragic event unfold in Laguna Woods community, a mass shooting in the Geneva Presbyterian Church, resulting in 1 death and 5 critical injuries. We know the Laguna Woods community is to be one that is tight-knit and engaged. We will observe their great resilience in the coming weeks and stand in solidarity with them against this totally senseless act. We also extend our thoughts and prayers to the families impacted by the shooting that took place. We extend our thoughts and prayers to the families impacted by this terrible shooting. We continue to affirm the tenets of the resolution passed by the board on May 18th, 2020, condemning xenophobia and anti-Asian sentiments. Additionally, we send our condolences to the people of Buffalo, New York, suffering from the aftermath of a horrible mass shooting that killed 10 people and injured 3 people. Another senseless act that reportedly was motivated by racism and anti-Semitism. Thank you for your care of each other during these very difficult times, and we are all better together. So thank you so much. Thank you. Okay.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't we do the heat? At this time, I have the excellent process of swearing in our new student trustee. The reason we're swearing her in right now is because after we swear her in, then she can make and second motions, and before that, we can't do that. So would you like to come forward? Okay, you can come over here, please. Over here. Thank you. So nice to meet you. So can you please repeat after me? I, and then state your name.
I think we need the mic.
You want to do it at the podium?
Yeah, we can do it
Why
at
don't
the
you do it at the podium?
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Good idea. Hello, is this on? Great, excellent. So here, we'll start again. So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, Rachel Abelos,
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I will take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Thank you, congratulations, and we welcome you to our Board of Trustees. Thank you so much. Rachel, is there anybody you'd like to introduce in the audience? No? Okay, thank you. Well, we're delighted that you're joining us. We really are. Thank you so much for joining us. So right now, we go to the public comments. And it appears that I have one public comment from our wonderful wonderful ASIVC President, Sam Lockhart. Thank you. Yeah, you can speak now. Thank you.
It's here. Hi, me again. Just giving the quick report on our end. We've had a scholarship ceremony on May 20th, and we've had some wonderful speakers who are both becoming social workers and are going to go far in life speak at that event. Roughly 175, I think, scholarships were awarded by the foundation throughout the course of the year, and the recipients were honored there. And of course, as you well know, that we're going to be having our commencement on May 26th at 9 a.m. for Saddleback. And pretty much from this point forward, Gloria will be talking for HG and taking my place. And I thank the board for hearing us out, or not hearing me out, for from March, from February and to April. And I thank you for having ASG represented at this table. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. Thank you for being president of Saddleback College Student Body for a whole year. And we have another comment from Jeff Meyer, Irvine parent.
Thank you for your service and for the board's time.
Thank you.
I would like to make a request that for the vaccine mandate, there may be an exception for children that have natural immunity. A lot's happened over the last couple of years, and the target of the vaccine was the Alpha variant, the Alpha, and now we're all the way to Omicron and Omicron 5 and 6, and the danger of the virus has gone down. I just got it, my wife just got it, and we're in our 50s and 60s, and we were down for 2 days, just barely. And my son's 18, he's perfectly healthy, he's already had COVID, and to have him, force him to get a vaccine is, I think, unconstitutional. It's already been shown to be unconstitutional in the U.S., and it's against everything I stand for as a father. There's so many adverse reactions to young, healthy children that get this. Their heart, neurological, their livers, and it's actually changing their mRNA, and we don't know what's going to happen in the long run. This is still a experimental gene therapy is what it is. It can't be called a vaccine. It's not efficient. After a few weeks, it wanes the efficiency, so it actually has negative efficiency. And I just wonder, is there anyone that would not want to have someone that has natural immunity, which is proven far superior to the vaccine? The vaccine doesn't stop people from getting it. It doesn't stop people from giving it. So what's the problem with allowing people that have natural immunity to skip the vaccine?
Well, thank you so much for your comment. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'd like to just formally ask that there be an exception for people that have natural immunity.
Well, we could take it under consideration, okay? So thank you so much. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then I have comments. On behalf of 4 faculty members from the International Languages Department, and they did ask for their entire 8 minutes. They were unable to come and make their comments in person because they're all giving finals this evening. This is related to the retirement of their dean, Kevin O'Connor, And so they say, congratulations on your retirement and innumerable academic, professional, and personal achievements in your stellar career. Our International Language Department heartily applauds this new chapter in your life, which holds delightful possibilities, exciting adventures, and time to explore new pathways. First, our department wishes to collectively thank you for the many academic and administrative hats you've donned throughout the years. How can we express our gratitude for your dedication for the past 2.5 decades at our college? To begin, you're a shining light, role model, and mentor whose unwavering support and enthusiastic engagement have contributed to the success of countless programs, and most importantly, individuals who would not have succeeded without your professional advice, personal warmth, and communicative expertise as our division dean. Invaluable contributions in leadership, mentoring, and advocacy. To mention just a few of your most notable contributions that have fostered our thriving language courses and programs over the decades. 1, you were the most ardent supporter of language, culture, diversity class offerings and the AA degrees in more than 11 languages that offer our students comprehensive training in speaking, reading, writing, and listening in the target language, in addition to opportunities for study abroad. 2, due to your comprehensive understanding of the diverse communities represented in our district, you have been a leading advocate for the Equity and Inclusion Initiative, which in turn has made an invaluable contribution to successful teaching and mentoring for student success. 3, your unwavering support and perfect attendance at our weekly, monthly, and quarterly international language sponsored events are legendary. Even though your workday is lengthy, your attendance and participation in the following cultural events to honor the inclusion and equity of all groups deserves high admiration and applause. 4, your advocacy for the volunteer Latinx teacher training program was vital for this successful venture. This initiative offered mentoring and teaching experience to recent graduates of California State University with master's degrees in international languages, which contributed to successful team teaching within our department. This program not only provided on-the-job training for the Latinx graduates that otherwise would not have had the experience, but also contributed to the creation of mentorship programs and many professional job opportunities for participants. We are very honored that as of today, we have 11 of these former graduated mentees teaching for us at Saddleback College, IVC, and Emeritus, and in many high schools, concurrent enrollment. 5, your support for the nonprofit organization Partners in Algebra, a mentorship program for first-generation college students, many of whom are underrepresented and disadvantaged. From the beginning, you've been an engaging humanitarian mentor and generous scholarship donor. You've been a wonderful mentor for Partners in Algebra with more than 200 students who have transferred to numerous university programs, including the UC System, USC, Columbia University, Cornell University, and NYU, among others. 6, your encouragement and advocacy for ongoing faculty development contributed greatly to the successful transition from face-to-face to asynchronous and hybrid language courses during and after the COVID-19 pandemic. Our classes not only survived, but they also thrived with notable increases in enrollment in the online platform that provided students with vital connections to counseling, food distribution, laptop computer loans, and mentorship. We are extremely grateful for your enthusiastic embracing and mentorship for online education courses, seminars in equity, poverty, LGBTQ+, inclusion and diversity, Latinx studies, Partners in Algebra, nonprofit organizations, and the Equity and Diversity Committee. You leave us with a legacy of honor, grace, and unequal professionalism, which have made an enormous impact on everyone in our department. We extend hearty congratulations on this new chapter in your wonderful life of compassionate advocacy for all peoples in the spirit of humanity, equity, and inclusion. There are no words to express our gratitude, as you will be truly missed, remembered, and cherished by each member of the International Language Department. Muchísimas gracias, merci beaucoup, vielen Dank, Montchankran, arigato gozaimasu, grazie, obrigado, sukran, doji, and gansamnida, toda. They're really pushing me. Thank you from the heart, Kevin. We love you.
Okay, thank you. Loved all those languages. Great. So thank you. Are there any other comments or? Okay, no more. So I will go directly to board reports, and I think I'll start with Trustee Inman. Would you like to give a board report?
It's been a very busy month, as everybody knows, and it's been my privilege to attend many events. Busy time at the end of the school year. Went to the Orange County School Board Association dinner meeting, where I ran into former colleagues and friends from the Irvine Unified School Board, the California Community College Trustee Conference, the wonderful Fun Gala at Irvine Valley College, and the scholarship events at both colleges, and this is what I would like to talk about tonight for just a moment. For years, I have tried to describe what community college means, and so that people don't know that it's not simply the first year of something else. We have our own culture, our own definition, and our own goals. President Stern, thank you, sir, described it so well. He said that we agree on three things. 1, education has the power to change people. 2, we are here because we love learning and we love students. 3, this happens through community. And the special speaker at the Saddleback event quoted Coretta Scott King, "The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members." And it is those compassionate actions by faculty, staff, and other students that were described by the student speakers at the scholarship events. Our powerful community has made a difference for them in their lives, as it has done for so many others. I am proud to be part of this compassionate community.
Thank you. Trustee Jay?
The IVC Foundation held its annual awards dinner celebrating excellence on May 5th, which I attended along with most of the other trustees. This has been a very busy week for the foundation, which has a record-breaking year. The first year record was set at the awards dinner. In addition to honoring the awardees, they raised more than $180,000. Which is 16% more than they have ever raised before. One of the most meaningful moments was when alumni Amaya Lyle shared her story. It never ceases to amaze me when students who find themselves housing and food insecure manage to not only attend school, but to flourish. In addition to being a very successful fundraiser, the event was a lot of fun for the attendees. My sincere thanks go out to the IVC Foundation team, Alyssa Oransky, Karen Orlando, Karen Jimenez, and Janice Visco. Special thanks also go to the departments, Marketing and Creative Services, Facilities and Maintenance. They all worked tirelessly to make this event success. Another success was a record was set on Friday, May 20th at the IVC Foundation Scholarship Awards ceremony. That day, more than $475,000 was awarded, which is $50,000 more than they have ever awarded before. The event is one of my favorites, as we get to acknowledge the scholarship recipients, the scholarship representatives, and all the contributors. On a special note, we can never thank enough the contributors to these scholarship funds who make not only this event possible, but literally change the lives of students who receive these awards. Thank you to all. I had the pleasure of attending the scholarship ceremony at Saddleback College, which was also held on May 20th. Congratulations to those students selected for recognition, and again, a big thanks to you contributors. In addition, I attended the nursing pinning ceremony on May 9th at Saddleback College, where 35 nurses were recognized for their achievements. Congratulations. I attended the CCLC convention on April 29th and 30th at the Dana Cliffs Marriott Hotel. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Trustee Jay. And Trustee Jamal?
Sure. So I did also attend the CCLC convention, or at least part of it, at Dana Point. I thought content was good, met some other trustees, which is always useful. The IVC Foundation dinner was excellent on May 5th. I like the indoor-outdoor combination. I happened to sit at probably the most raucous table at
Say the same thing.
Lisa Lisa Kennedy Greenberg's table. So our hands were up a lot, and their family they're amazing supporters of IVC. I'm sorry to have missed the scholarship ceremonies last week. My son plays Division I baseball and is in his final series of the year in Phoenix, and in fact, they made the playoffs. So I'm back again on Wednesday in Phoenix again. Spending a lot of time in Phoenix, not the best place to be when temperatures are rising. And I'm also planning to head to my homeland of Armenia. So I participated in an international human rights conference on the violations that took place by Azerbaijan and Turkey against the Armenians of Nagorno-Karabakh. So I will be in Armenia for about 10 days. And I'm very sorry, I'm going to miss the commencement ceremonies. I was hoping to work around that, but it's not likely. I mean, it's not going to happen. So to Dr. Stern, Dr. Hernandez, my apologies for missing. And lastly, I just want to thank the committee, Chancellor Search Committee. I thought that you did a good job. I don't think the process is quite perfect yet, but I think it's gotten a lot better since I came on the board. And I want to thank the committee, including the community member Lisa Kennedy Greenberg, for their service on the committee and during that process. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, Trustee Prendergast, okay?
Yes. So, as many of you know, I teach and coach, and so I apologize for not being able to be at the myriad of events, but I was at swim meets for all of them, or banquets, or practice, or many, many things. But anyway, I do want to make a correction. The slight heart attack I gave to President Hernandez last board meeting about the wrong event on the wrong weekend. So what I meant to say is I was looking forward to going to the Orange County Teacher of the Year dinner on the following Monday after our last meeting. So I was able to attend that. And then the Australia Awards were on May 7th. So we got that straightened out right after the meeting. And all is well and good. I am looking forward to the commencements. I will be able to make both of those. In fact, I will be doing 4 commencements in 2 days because I have 2 for Beckman and 1 for Saddleback and 1 for IVC. So fun stuff. But I will be missing the June meeting because I will be out of town. So I did want to make a recognition that I am wearing my mental health month bracelet here that I've had all month. And next month, I'll be wearing my rainbow bracelet. So in solidarity with one of my children who is in that community and others who are part of that.
Great.
So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Trustee Prendergast and Trustee Wright.
I don't have much to report. My wife and I did go to the, on May the 5th to what we had to go and have the nurses and offer
The nurse pinning ceremony.
the
Yeah,
pinning
you were
ceremony.
there for sure.
Yeah, it was a wonderful event. And then finally, I wanted to tell you that we have been on May the 10th and May the 11th, we have been trying to find a new chancellor.
Great.
That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. Trustee White and Trustee Whit-Rydell?
Good evening, everyone. I attended several events. It was nice to finally get out, and the pinning ceremony is always near and dear to my heart. Also, the IVC Excellence Evening was beautiful. Many people have discussed it already, and it was a great opportunity to see how many people were willing to give, and so I want to thank everyone. Also, the scholarships, that's my favorite day of the year, to do the scholarships, and thank you all for putting me with a table with 7 nursing students. It was great, because they didn't know I was a nursing instructor. I let it go for a while, and then they wondered how I knew all the classes they were taking. But tonight I want to share something special with you, and I want to just take my few minutes to say something. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about the International World Food Day or the World Hunger Day. Some of you get these kind of envelopes in the mail. This one said, enclose a check, feed a hungry American child. And I know many times we just throw it away. But I want to tell you, when I was a young nurse, I did some international work, and it's like Peace Corps, and I was supposed to go to Vietnam. The war was escalating, so they sent me to Ethiopia. And when I left, I didn't know there was a famine going on. Now, I'm sure you've read about famines, et cetera, but when I was there, I didn't know what was going on. I was in the north. We had rain. I was very busy, but I knew nothing about it until my mother sent me a letter that's had a BBC thing that said famine in Ethiopia. And I go, what? Well, as it turned out, at the end of my tour, I wanted to go to Lalibela where they have the Coptic churches. So that means I have to go south. And I flew through Addis Ababa. And when I was there, I had picked up a little candy and stuff and then got on that DC-3 and went right into a field when we landed with dust everywhere. It was kind of exciting, Indiana Jones. But at any rate, when I got off the plane, I cannot tell you what I saw. I saw the famine. I saw these children coming at me, half clothed, bellies as big as if they were pregnant. It was Kwashiorkor, and they were all wanting something. And all I had in my purse were M&Ms. And I didn't want to give it to them because they were M&Ms with nuts. They had no teeth. They wouldn't be able to chew them. And I got very upset that night, and when I came back home, I was angry at a lot of things. But one day on television, I saw Mother Teresa and thought, wow, this is cool. A whole half-hour program on her, because usually you don't see those things. And someone said to her, Mother Teresa, why do people have to die in the gutters, and why do they have to starve and all those? And I thought, whoa, I don't have to die and ask God at the end why he does that. And it's not that he does that. You know what she said? She said, it's not our place to ask why, but it's our place to do. So if you can give your time, money, opportunities to our own backyard, our own students here, bring in food that you can share, or give some money to international concerns, or there's so many organizations that you could really give to. And I'm serious, it's not them who gives, it's us. And I just share that with you because if you've never seen it, it's hard to see how it really is. I hope to God I never have to see something like that again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Witt. And I'm just going to say myself that May is an incredibly busy month, as you could see, for all the trustees. And I'm just going to rudely just read the list of all the events I attended. You heard how many events my fellow board members attended, which is incredible. And this is just to show everybody how incredible our staff is in creating all of these wonderful events for our students. First, the board leadership virtually met with Senator Padilla, Senator Min, and Senator Choi, and we gave them our asks, and they were very responsive. We went to the OCS, Orange County School Board Association dinner. I went to the 2 art gallery openings at Saddleback College, Boundless, and all of the above. Joey Sellers Jazz Band on the McKinney Theater, where they played all the swing dances, and everybody that wanted to dance sat on the stage and danced, and we danced every single dance and had a wonderful time, and Joey Sellers Band is fabulous. Went to the Teacher of the Year ceremony at the Disneyland Hotel, and honored our Teachers of the Year. You already have their names. Then I went to the Estrella Awards at the Disneyland Hotel. So fue divertido, aquí practiqué mi español, está muy bien. Went to the Saddleback College Career Fair, where Eric Hilden, at the Saddleback Quad, there were over 100 companies represented, and our students were there getting jobs from all the companies. It was like incredible. The CCLC conference in Dana Point, where I drove back and forth and even picked up a trustee from the College of the Redwoods at the airport and drove her to the conference. A ballet given by the professor that's retiring, Sharon Haas. The IBC Gala, and as Trustee Jamal said, I sat at his table with Trustee Kennedy, with Trustee with Lisa Kennedy, Greenberg, and our table raised our paddles so much that we raised more money than anybody else, and we had more fun than anybody else. It was really great. The Saddleback College Honors Program completion celebration, where Elisa Rosenberg handed out all the awards to all the honor students going to all these top colleges in the nation. The nurse pinning ceremony, the chancellor opened forums where I went to one at Saddleback and one to IVC just to show that I wasn't having any favors over any particular college. The IVC Shark Tank Entrepreneur Idea Prize program with John Russo at IVC. The Saddleback College Research Symposium with professors Tony Huntley and Abby Cyrulnik. And the capstone for that was the Mars Rover project, which is going to Utah on June the 1st, competing with four-year colleges all over the nation, and I wish them and Matt Hyeri well with this project. The transfer celebration with Barbara Benvenides, and I passed out the cords to all the students transferring, going to myriad different four-year institutions. It was incredible. The Saddleback College baseball game, and our home team won that day. The Saddleback College and the IVC scholarship events where Trustee Inman said I did great speeches. I gave great speeches at both of them. Thank you so much, Trustee Inman. And she taught speeches, so I was really thankful that she said that. And so a few other things that were really important. And at the Saddleback College and IVC scholarship events where I sat with a group of students that my organizations gave scholarships to, like 14 students that we gave scholarships to, both at Saddleback and IVC, and it was really wonderful to see all these students winning scholarships and all these students getting scholarships and all these people giving scholarships. It was just a happy celebration. I want to mention that IVC Beach Volleyball won the state title, and it was a storybook ending for Coach Pestalacci as he retires permanently from coaching duties. IVC Athletics had great performances also, and I'm looking forward with great anticipation to our 2 commencement ceremonies. Thank you. And now, our wonderful new student trustee, Rachel Abelos, do you have a board report today?
Yes.
No?
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay, would you
Thank
like to
you,
read
trustee.
it? Thank you.
Oh, good evening to the board, faculty, and staff and students on our last week of the spring semester. I am excited and honored to be here starting off the student trustee term, relaying updates from our collective student body. Following both colleges' respective student government elections, we are proud to welcome a new student leadership team for both colleges to continue the ASG's advocacy in the past year on basic needs, the assurance of accessible learning environments for students with differing abilities, student wellness and sustainability, and a sense of community on campus. With the new student governments, we have begun overview of the incoming school year ASG budgets with a renewed emphasis on events, efficacy, and school community. Events where this community was felt were the recent Pride celebration at IVC, in which LGBTQ+ students and allies bonded and felt supported by our Pride Scholars School Services, as well as a Saddleback event celebrating commencement and honoring our students' academic achievements. Inspiration was felt at the recent scholarships award ceremonies, where students were grateful to meet our donors whose generosity supports our futures, and where students were inspired by the support of the chancellor, trustees, faculty, and staff for the event. And much talk was heard about the student story sections, in which students were, quote, encouraged by the ceremony to continue on with their goals, and that it was inspiring to listen to what positive impact student scholarships have on their lives. And students are excited for the new year and are grateful to have a board of trustees, chancellor, faculty, and staff that gives their students a voice and the support needed to achieve their goals. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And now we're going to, thank you, Student Trustee Abelos. And now, Abelos. And now we go to the student government reports. Gloria Lee from Saddleback. Is she here? No? And Angela Bustos from IVC. Sorry, Angela, sorry.
Hi, just a formal introduction. My name is Angelica Bustos, and I'm the future ASIVC, the newly elected ASIVC president. So definitely I want to highlight the ASIVC leadership transition that occurred. We finally finalized that. And we also ended off the year with a banquet to celebrate ASIVC and our interclub council's accomplishments of the semester. I also wanted to highlight, along with those accomplishments, the Bees Garden, also known as the Hive, Garden Revival, where we had our sustainability committee and our green team work together to revive this once historical piece of Irvine Valley College. Also, along with the new term, ASIVC will continue to advocate for student needs for the upcoming term by working with IVC's new Department of Basic Needs And also, ASIVC is going to be focused on advocating for sustainability initiatives. And we're also going to be focusing on civic engagement for the upcoming term. I also wanted to highlight last Friday that we had our scholarship ceremony, as many of you mentioned and attended, where ASIVC and the IVC Foundation awarded over 400 scholarships to the students, which definitely was something that was really great to see. Despite the weather, we were able to transition the event back to inside, even though it was still a really great event. Finally, I also wanted to highlight the EOPS, which is the Extended Opportunities Program recognition ceremony, which I was able to attend. And this ceremony was was congratulating the transferring students and also the academic achieving students there. And for those of you who may not know what EOPS is, it provides resources to students who are mostly first generation and low income students. So definitely that event was truly beautiful. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much. And now the Irvine Valley College Academic Senate, Professor Dan DeRoulet. Do you have a report?
Good evening, Chancellor and trustees. I want to start out tonight with some acknowledgements and also by stating the obvious that this has been and continues to be a year of truly significant change. We're in the midst of a search for a new chancellor and at the beginning of the process of saying goodbye to Chancellor Burke, who has participated in the lives of our colleges by sharing her life and her expertise and her skills, and who has led our district so well. The process, of course, will also soon begin to elect a new board member, and we will begin to say goodbye to Trustee Wright, who has served the board faithfully in Saddleback College, before that as a dean and instructor. This is also the last meeting for my distinguished colleague and president of the FA, Louis Long, Professor Louis Long, and my colleague and distinguished president of the Saddleback College Academic Senate, Margot Levitt. At IVC, we are in the process for looking for a new vice president of instruction, and we are welcoming, of course, as you've heard tonight, Rachel Abalos as our new student trustee, and our new student government presidents, Gloria Lee and Angelica Bustos, and that is a lot of change. This year, of course, faculty and students have experienced great change in moving from in-person to online, back to in-person or online or hybrid instruction. We, of course, have the ongoing uncertainties of COVID. We have a destabilizing and inhuman war in Europe. We have inflation and the economy to be concerned about. We have the upcoming actions of the Supreme Court on Roe v. Wade. We have destructive political rhetoric, and we have the seemingly unshakable and awful and continued violence against people of color in the United States that continues just to haunt our country. So this most certainly is now a time of change for our district, but also a time of change and uncertainty for our world and for our students and for the communities we serve. But change and uncertainty often offer windows of opportunity. At IVC, we've spoken in the Academic Senate about committing our classrooms and recommitting them as safe spaces for applying learning and thoughtfulness to a world badly in need of new ideas and solutions. And as this time of change continues, we faculty realize our great opportunity that we have to work with our students, our staff, and our administrative colleagues to reach out to the greater Irvine and Mission Viejo communities and to provide them with a space for learning and discussion that can better our lives together as well. We are, after all, community colleges. And so as the academic year comes to an end, I want to express our gratitude to the board, to our chancellor, and to all of our SOCCCD colleagues for the opportunities to be part of this oasis of learning and of hope. Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful, thank you. And now the Saddleback College Academic Senate, Professor Margot Levitt.
Okay, Dan is a very hard act to follow. That was, I think I should just say what he said and be done with it, but you're not going to get away that easily. I do want to echo his gratitude to Chancellor Burke and to Trustee Wright for their service to our colleges and to our district. It is much appreciated, and you are very well respected and loved, so thank you for that. And I want to say that personally, it has been an honor for me to represent the faculty of Saddleback College as Academic Senate President over the past year. I work with some amazing colleagues who care more about their students than I sometimes think is healthy for their time and their mental health, but they do it because, as Trustee Inman said, quoting President Stern, they love what they do. And that brings us, that's what we are all here for. The incoming Academic Senate President is Heidi Ochoa, who is a Communication Studies professor, and you will meet her at the June board meeting, and she is truly wonderful. She and I will continue to work as a team, as next year I will be president-elect, and then the following year I'll resume position as Senate President. So I'm not fully gone. The transition of academic Senate leadership, and to tack on to what President DeRoulet said, this comes as we prepare to welcome a new chancellor to our district, which reminds me of how much turnover the district has had at the senior administrative level over the last few years. Now, unlike our faculty leaders who serve as presidents-elect, and so take office fully understanding the issues that face the colleges and the district and the initiatives that we're undertaking, our senior administrators generally are strangers to the district, and so they don't have that knowledge. So as our new chancellor joins us, it is extremely fortunate that the colleges have two experienced and visionary college presidents who will provide continuity of leadership during this transition. And I speak from experience, having served with both Presidents Hernandez and President Stern on numerous district committees. So to end, what have we done over the last year? Well, the Academic Senate instituted governance training for our senators. We attracted a new generation of faculty leaders to serve as Academic Senate officers, and we collaborated with IVC's Academic Senate and District HR to develop a faculty internship program. We also collaborated with the Saddleback College administration to increase student success, to diversify the faculty, to create new academic programs and degrees, and to expand professional development opportunities. Now, all of these are multi-year initiatives, and the Academic Senate looks forward to continuing to work collegially with President Stern and his executive team on these and other initiatives for many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your service, too. Faculty Association, Melanie Hayari? Not yet.
Almost.
No? No?
Et tu, Brute.
Okay. Oh, right. Sorry. Sorry. It's in the agenda that way. Sorry
Yes,
about that.
That's okay. We're
Yeah, I'm so
anticipating
sorry.
just a bit.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
President
Well,
Milchiker.
well, welcome to both of you, okay?
You anticipated my introduction.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of news to deliver. The first bit is that we are nearing the final stages of producing a new student evaluation process as part of the Faculty Performance Review Instrument. Due to the very hard work and collaborative efforts of Faculty Association Chief Negotiator Claire Cesario and the Faculty Association negotiating team, and Vice Chancellor of Human Resources Cindy Viscachel, with able assistance from Vice President of Instruction Tram Vu Kumamoto, who have put together a robust and data-driven process, and we look forward to be able to use that as a way of helping our faculty members continue their excellence in serving students. The second bit of news, which isn't really news for anyone, is that in the governor's May revise, the anticipated COLA of 2.48% came out to actually be 6.56%, an increase of over 4% from what was anticipated. And since the state COLA is intended to help, to some degree, mitigate the erosion of faculty and staff salaries through inflation, we're looking forward to negotiating with the district over the governor's largesse to see if we can use it for the purposes for which it was originally intended. I also, in a completely separate topic, would like to recognize the retirement of Saddleback faculty member Larry Radden, who has been a member of the Saddleback faculty and a very capable speech coach for 28 years. And then finally, as has been acknowledged a couple of times now, this is my last meeting, and I will be turning over this role to President Melanie Harry, who will be taking over on May 27th. But I would like to take just a second to thank Chancellor Burke, Vice Chancellors Anne Marie Gable and Chris McDonald, and Bob Remucci also, and especially Cindy Viscachill, with whom it has been an absolute pleasure and honor to work. Presidents John Hernandez and Elliot Stern, the various college vice presidents for their collegiality and professionalism, and just the general level of high competence, which has really been a pleasure for someone who's worked in this district a long time. And then finally, thank all of my faculty colleagues whose dedication to their students has been absolutely humbling, and it's been an honor to be able to work with them.
Thank you, Professor Long. We will miss you. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Professor Long. And next we have the Irvine Valley College Classified Senate, Desiree Ortiz.
Thank you. Good evening, Chancellor Burke and trustees. As many of you stated, it's an exciting time of the year for us as we celebrate our students. As many of you attended our scholarship ceremony, it was so nice to see our students. And Classified Senate proudly awards scholarships to our students every year. So we are very honored to see that. I'd like to give thanks to my colleagues in the financial aid department who do a lot of the back end stuff for that ceremony. One thing we also celebrated after the scholarship ceremony is the Senate, along with President Hernandez, awarded our Classified Employee of the Year. And so I'd like to read just a bit of what was written of this recipient. And this year's recipient is truly committed to serving a diverse population of students from financially and educationally disadvantaged backgrounds, evident in their advocacy and support for students who have the highest need and involvement in the development of initiatives that support students' need. In the employee's role, they demonstrate what it's like to be a caring campus and supports the mission of IVC by advocating for students and by helping to develop initiatives that help students realize their full potential. This person has the qualities representative of a caring, compassion, organized, and positive demeanor. This person has worked in her department, the EOPS CARE, CalWORK's Guardian Scholars Department, for nearly 10 years. It was our pleasure to honor and announce our 21-22 Classified Employee of the Year award recipient, Dawn Pickering, who is an exemplary employee and tremendous asset to EOPS and to the campus community. And she truly is just a pleasure to work with and a true pillar of strength for us at IVC. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, President Ortiz. And thank you. And next, the California School Employees Association, Scott Ferguson Green.
Thank you, President Milchiker. Good evening, Board. First of all, I wanted to acknowledge the tremendous leadership of the faculty governance groups. I had the privilege and pleasure to work with President Louis Long and also Academic Senate President Margot Lovett, and they have done a wonderful job leading their particular groups, sharing information, and also being able to work collegiately, and I really appreciate that. I also wanted to thank the board for supporting the classified professionals. Thank you for reading the resolution in honor of California School Employees Week, and we really appreciate the fact that you do recognize classified professionals, and you will see stellar performances from the classified professionals come the two commencements coming up later this week. President Milchiker, I'd like to thank you for acknowledging the tragic mass shootings that are racially motivated, which is it's unbelievable to me, but thank you for acknowledging that. I don't know what we're going to do. I certainly am still surprised and shocked by racially motivated shootings. I don't know why, but I am. And the fact that they continue to happen shouldn't shock me because they are commonplace now. Maybe we need divine intervention as the only way to get to stop it. But perhaps I'm not shocked about it because I come from a very, very diverse family. My dad was the oldest of 10, my mom was the baby of 11. So when I went to family reunions, all I knew was the fact that my family was big, and my maternal grandmother, it never dawned on me when I was growing up that she was white, or the fact that my maternal great-grandparents were white and my other maternal great-grandparents were black. It just never dawned on me that they were of a different color. So when you went to one of my family reunions, you know, we all knew that we looked similar. We were just a variety of colors. And you didn't know whether you went to a family reunion or a United States concession or a United Nations concession. So to me, it is really something that I hope does change. But I want to really acknowledge the college administrations for really promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the fact that they've done such a good job, Dr. Stern, Dr. Hernandez, that does trickle down. It trickles down to all sorts of entities and also to the students. And hopefully, in the future, that someday all this will stop.
I certainly hope so. Our colleges are incredibly beautifully diverse. Bo Arbuthnot is not here today, is that correct? No. So thank you so much, that was very good. So that concludes our reports. Right now,
Before we go to the public hearing, could we please move item 7.1 up on the agenda so that our student
I was just-
trustee can make and second motions and vote?
I was about to say that, right here in my notes, okay, okay. Yeah, we'd like to move, right now, we're moving thank you, we're moving 7.1 up on the agenda to, so that the student trustee can receive compensation and can make and second a motion.
So moved.
So move for trustee Jamal, and it's seconded by trustee Jay, is that? By trustee Jay. Now, everybody can vote. Yeah, there it is, okay. It came up now.
Probably needed a motion in a second.
We do have a motion second, yeah. Trustee Jamal made the motion and trustee Jay seconded it. And now we can vote electronically, but it takes a little while to bring up the picture up here.
What are we waiting for?
I think they're trying to vote. Could I see that thing that you had about the voting thing? I thought I had one here, but I know how to do it, but. Yeah, well, everybody else voted, I think.
Trustee Jay votes aye.
I already voted and it just came up again. Should we vote again then? It says there wasn't, it says there was an error and my vote might not have been recorded. Yeah, now I see it. Okay, thanks. Okay, the vote was, the motion was by trustee Jamal, seconded by trustee Jay, and it was 7-0, with the trustee, student trustee, voting yes as well. She's not on there, the student trustee, but I assume she voted yes, unless you're abstaining. Are you abstaining? You don't have to vote, because you could abstain, because it's on your compensation, okay?
She votes after this.
You don't have to vote, I don't think. She doesn't have to vote on this one. You don't have to vote on this one.
Can't yet.
Why can't she?
Okay, now, she can after this.
What?
Can't vote on this one.
So this is the motion to allow her to.
No, I'm saying she doesn't have to vote, but, but
She
she,
can't yet.
okay.
She can,
Oh,
now
okay.
she can.
No, yeah, you can't because you're not officially a student trustee until we vote you in.
No, she's a student trustee, but this allows her now to vote.
Yeah, this allows you to vote and you can make and second motions and you can vote and you'll be getting your compensation starting now, okay? Thank you.
Well, we're just logging back in here.
I'll put this down over here, okay? I don't think I'll need
You
it
can
again.
have
Okay, thank you.
You have one,
Where is it?
right here.
No, that's a different one.
Okay, you got it.
We're still working with trustee Jay? Okay, sorry.
But you can go on to the public hearing, because the item's been voted on.
Okay, the item's been voted on,
So
okay.
you can go on to the next, to
Okay.
item number 5.
Right now, we're going on to item 5. First, there is a public hearing, and we are now on a board agenda item 5.1, the SOCCCD public hearing for certification and approval of the CEQA document, which is an environmental study addendum and approval of the site plan and design departments for submission to the city of Tustin of the Saddleback at ATEP building project. This is the Saddleback building. Before we have that public hearing, Vice Chancellor Anne Marie Gable will provide an introduction.
Thank you, Board President Milchiker.
Thank you.
The agenda item allows the public to provide the Board of Trustees with comments and input before the board considers approval of the Saddleback at ATEP Building CEQA addendum and approval of the project site plan and design documents. There are 2 additional board items that relate to this public hearing, items 5.2 and 5.3. If you have any questions throughout this public hearing process this evening, both Madhani Ephraim and myself are here to assist.
Thank you. So board item 5.1, the public hearing on the matter at hand is now open, but comments are not to exceed 2 minutes. Are there any public people that would like to make comments now about this particular public hearing? I guess nobody has any public comments. Does the board have any questions to staff or our consultants to assist with their understanding of this matter? The board? No? Okay, does anyone have any questions or comments? The public hearing is now closed. Is there any further discussion on this matter by the Board of Trustees? We will now move to item 5.2, the board's approval of resolution number 2210, which certifies and approves the CEQA environmental study addendum for the project, ratifies and adopts the mitigation measures, and directs staff to timely file a note of determination with the Orange County Clerk and State Clearinghouse.
So moved.
Okay, thank you. So trustee Prendergast makes the motion and trustee Wright seconds it. So now we can take a vote. So now we can vote on this particular item. So my voting screen has not come up yet.
Give it time.
They're working on it. Thank you. So the vote, motion by trustee Pendergrass, second by trustee Wright, 7 yes and no, and 0 no. Voting for, so the item was passed, 7-0. We will now move to item 5.3, the board's approval of resolution number 2211, which approves the project site plan and design documents and submittal of the site plan and design application to the city of Tustin and authorizes and directs staff to implement this project. Now I call for a motion and a second, and then we can vote. Okay, trustee Jay makes a motion, and trustee Wright seconds it.
Whit-Rydell.
Oh, trustee Whit-Rydell, okay, I saw them both at the same time. Okay, trustee Whit-Rydell seconds it?
Yeah.
Okay, trustee Whit-Rydell seconds it. Now you can all vote.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Where is? It's not working.
Okay, the vote is 7, with the motion by trustee Jay, second by trustee Whit-Rydell. The vote is 7 yes, no, 0, with a student advisory vote of yes. So thank you. Now we're moving on to the resolutions. And items 6.1 to 6.8 recognize formal resolutions given by the Board of Trustees to honor extraordinary achievements, as well as those who provide honorable and lasting contributions to students, the community, or education. The honorees will accept their board resolution and will be recognized for their achievement at their respective college campuses. There are a total of 8 resolutions on the agenda this month. The first resolution is recognizes trustee Jim Wright for his
President Melchiker,
Yes?
just point of order.
Yes?
Can we do 6.1 last?
Oh, you want to do it last?
I
Okay.
feel that way,
Okay, okay.
right?
And I'm the one that's reading, has the honor of reading trustee Jim Wright's resolution, and trustee Whit-Rydell is reading the rest of them. Okay?
I
so-
just-
So, okay, so do you want to, trustee Whit-Rydell, do you want to start with number 2?
Sure.
Great.
The next 3 resolutions honor our outstanding classified staff of the year. Leilani Anselmo, a Human Resource Compliance and Title IX Analyst in the District Service Human Resources Department, is named the District Service 2022 Classified Employee of the Year. Be it resolved that the Board of Trustees and the Chancellor of the South Orange County Community College District do hereby commend and congratulate Leilani Anselmo for her outstanding dedication and professionalism, and officially recognize her as the 2022 District Service Employee of the Year. I'd like to make the motion to, for the outstanding resolution to be given to Leilani Anselmo. Will someone second it?
Second?
Our student trustee seconded.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Andrew Craven, pardon me?
We have to vote on the resolution.
Oh, we have to vote for each one. Sorry. Okay, let's vote.
So we have a technical problem here because we don't have our student trustee's name in there yet for staff to be able to include her as the second. So can we get a different second? Sorry, Rachel, we'll fix that.
We'll
I
give you
second
more
it.
seconds at the next meeting.
Did you vote for that?
Do we need a second still?
Yes.
Okay, second. Oh, sorry. All right.
Oh, here it is.
Did you get it?
Okay, the motion by trustee Whit-Rydell, second by trustee Jay, was voted 7-0 with the student advisory vote of yes for this particular resolution.
Okay. The second resolution is Andrew Craven is a police technical service specialist and is named Saddleback College 2022 Classified Employee of the Year. Be it resolved that the president of Saddleback College, the Board of Trustees, and the chancellor of the South Orange County Community College District does hereby commend and congratulate Andrew Craven for his outstanding dedication and professionalism and officially recognize him as the 2022 Saddleback College Classified Employee of the Year. Let me make the motion to recognize Andrew Craven as the 2022 Saddleback College Employee of the Year. Can I have a second?
I'll
I second it.
Okay.
Okay, let's vote.
Is he here?
No, they
No.
said they're recognizing them at their colleges.
Okay.
Come up yet? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm supposed to present the resolution. Oh, it's here, okay.
Did everybody vote?
Okay, this resolution was passed 7-0 with trustee Whit-Rydell making the motion, trustee Jay seconding it, with the student trustee advisory vote of yes.
Okay, the third resolution is for Dawn Pickering, is a senior administrative assistant in the Office of Extended Opportunity Programs and Service, EOPS, and has been named Irvine Valley College 2022 Employee of the Year. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees, the Chancellor of South Orange County Community College District do hereby commend and congratulate Dawn Pickering as the Irvine Valley College Outstanding Classified Employee of the Year. Let me make the motion that
I-
Dawn Pickering,
I second it.
well, wait, I didn't say it yet, that Dawn Pickering will be Irvine Valley's Irvine Valley's Outstanding Classified Employee of the Year for 2022. May I have a second?
I second it.
Thank you. Let's vote.
Dawn here? No?
No.
I think
No,
they're
it's not here.
recognizing them at their colleges.
Did you get the vote?
Yeah, I voted. Right there. Yeah.
Trustee Jay's vote? Hit it again.
Okay. Okay. What was that?
Yeah, I have, okay. Okay, the motion has passed on a 7-0 with the student trustee advisory vote yes. Okay, you can go to the next one.
Okay, well, I'd like to say congratulations to Leilani, Andrew, Dawn for this well-deserved recognition. We thank you for your dedication to our students, our college, and our district. There are 4 additional resolutions being submitted to the board for approval this month. The first resolution expresses the support for the designation of May 2022 as Mental Health Awareness Month. Each May, the South Orange County Community College District works to raise awareness about the importance of mental health and its impact on the well-being of all employees, students throughout the district. This resolution helps to reaffirm solidarity with those who are experiencing mental health conditions, while renewing SOCCD's commitment to providing faculty, staff, and students with the support they need and deserve. Be it resolved that South Orange County Community College District does hereby proclaim May 2022 as National Mental Health Awareness Month and call upon the faculty and staff and students to join in activities and take action to strengthen the mental health of our communities. I so move that we will call May 2022 Mental Health Awareness Month. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Let's vote.
Okay, this vote, the motion is passed on 7-0 vote with no abstentions, and the student trustee has advisory vote yes.
The next resolution is for Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This resolution is to recognize and pay tribute to the contributions of generations of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, AAPI, who have enriched the history of the United States during the month of May. Be it resolved that South Orange County Community College District Board of Trustees and the Chancellor proclaim May as the National Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. I so moved.
Second.
Okay. Let's vote.
The motion was made by trustee Whit-Rydell, seconded by trustee Wright, and it passed on a 7-0 with a yes vote by our student trustee advisory vote. Thank you.
The following resolution is for International World Hunger Day. International World Food Day can be observed by working to identify ways to increase food production, food nutrition, and access to food. The resolution gives recognition to food insecurity and famine throughout the world's history and present-day crisis. The resolution recognizes that South Orange County Community College District's students, faculty, and staff can express their concern for the plight of hungry and malnourished people throughout the world by study, advocacy, and action. Be it resolved that the South Orange County Community College District Board of Trustees supports the designation of International World Food Day on May 28th and encourages the students, staff, and faculty of SOCCD to observe the day with appropriate projects and activities. I so moved. Can I have a second?
Second.
Let's vote.
Okay, this motion was given by trustee Whit-Rydell and seconded by trustee Milchiker. It was passed 7-0 with a student trustee advisory vote of yes.
The final resolution is being submitted to commemorate Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, and Queer Pride Month in June 2022 in South Orange County Community College District. The resolution recognizes diverse communities and amplifies the voices of those who have historically been silenced, including students and employees who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual, and/or other gender identities, sexualities, and asexualities, the LGBTQIA. Be it resolved that South Orange County Community College District recognizes Pride Month as an important time to celebrate our dynamic and diverse LGBTQIA community, educate ourselves and others about the achievements and challenges of the LGBTQIA people throughout history, and foster dialogue that inspires equity and inclusiveness, creates alliances, and promotes a healthy, safe, and prosperous environment for all on our campuses and in our community. I so move. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Let's vote.
Did everyone vote? Who didn't vote? Oh, great. Okay, great, thank you. This is the resolution, it's unanimous. It's trustee Whit-Rydell made the motion, seconded by trustee Prendergast, passed 7-0 with a student advisory vote of yes. So thank you. And now the actual final resolution, I have the great honor of recognizing our wonderful colleague, trustee Jim Wright, for his dedicated service for the district, both as an employee and as a member of the Board of Trustees. Trustee Wright's legacy will be one signified by dignity, respect, and dedication to students, which will leave an indelible impact on the South Orange County Community College District for years to come. Trustee Wright was a colonel in the Air Force for 27 years, and he was the founder and the commander for 27 years of the Air Force Preparatory School. His second career began as a chemistry professor here at Saddleback College, and then he became the Dean of Math, Science, and Engineering here. And his third career became when he was appointed to the Board of Trustee by our board, and we really enjoyed having him here. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees and the Chancellor of the South Orange County Community College District do hereby express their deepest appreciation to Dr. James R. Wright for his dedication to students, faculty, staff, and administrators during his service as an administrator of the college and as an elected member of the Board of Trustees. Do we have a motion and a second?
I so moved.
Second.
Okay, trustee Wright made the motion and trustee Jay seconded it?
Trustee Whit-Rydell made the motion.
Okay, trustee Whit-Rydell made the motion, okay, and trustee Jay seconded it, okay? And now we can vote on it. And you could vote yes, trustee Wright, if you'd
Can we
like.
say a few words?
Yeah, would you like to say a few words?
I would. So when I heard the news that trustee Wright was stepping down, I was really taken aback. I came on the board and elected in 2012, and I know you've been a fixture on this at Saddleback College, and then as a trustee for so many years. And Jim, you've served with honor. I think your service here was foreshadowed by your service in the military. I mean, I'm in awe of your bio, your service to the country. I've heard some details about the work you've done, and I mean, I think so many people in the district have been hired by you. I think you're one of them, Chris.
Good job, good job.
And you have good judgment and your calm demeanor, always very sensible. And it's really, Jim, it's been an honor to serve with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. You're always distinguished and thoughtful, and you have such a great, deep appreciation of the college, being both a professor and then a dean and now a board member. We really appreciate your thoughtfulness and your taking great care at every decision that you make and really making it thoughtfully and with great care and distinguished, and being distinguished and being good. Okay, Trustee TJ.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that Trustee Jamal didn't bring this up, but the fact that you still wore a tie on all the Zoom meetings was probably the most commendable aspect of that. But thank you for your service.
We'll really miss you.
Yeah. And Janice, are you in the audience?
Yes, she is.
Janice, this is his loyal wife. Do you want to introduce your wife? Well, this Janice is Trustee White's loyal wife. How long have you been married? 54 years in June.
All right.
Congratulations. What a great accomplishment. Thank you. Okay, so I get, oh, we have to vote. Okay, we need to vote on it.
No,
Wait, one second.
Jim.
See if he wants to say anything.
Would you like to say something?
Oh, just thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You know,
We love
I,
you.
I just want to say something. One evening, when Jim had a little setback one time, and I drove to his house, and he told me about himself. I want to tell you, that was incredible. All I'm going to say is to summarize it, that he actually had our security, this nation's security, in his hands. And that tells you a lot. I was most impressed with all that he's done. But he couldn't tell me everything. Yeah.
It's a
Very
secret.
impressive, very impressive.
Right?
Thank you.
I miss him so much.
Okay, now we can vote, right?
It presses the button 3 times.
Kristen is teary-eyed. That's very sweet.
Present it to him.
What?
Present it to him.
Yeah, okay. Okay, it was unanimous. Wonderful.
Well, that's a surprise. One with the full board.
You want to do one with the full
One
board?
with the full board.
Jim, you want to come over here with
Yeah,
the
let's
full
take a
board?
picture with the full board, right. Much better idea. Put the message.
You should be in the middle.
You should be in the middle.
Your board president should get next to him.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm always in the back.
Yeah, you don't have to be in the.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm technologically inept, and I'm supposed to take a picture. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Well,
Okay.
Letitia could send us a picture, right? You could send us a
Carol
picture,
can,
right?
Carol can send it to us.
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Trying to hold my stomach in.
It's the other reason I stand in the back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's my chair, there's my chair. So now, item 7.2 is the biannual governance board elections. So do we have this is to consolidate the election for the Board of Trustees. So do we have a motion and a second for this?
So moved.
Trustee Jay makes the motion, and is there a second?
I second.
Okay, and trustee Prendergast seconds it. And as I said, it's to consolidate the election, which will be in November for now 4 board members.
Do you want to explain that anymore? I guess that's
Well,
clear enough to the public.
7.2 is to consolidate the election.
This is for the 3.
For the 3 board members, for, that would be for, I don't have to tell you who it is, but it's for 3 board members. Okay, for trustee Prendergast, myself, and trustee Whit-Rydell, which will be in November. And then
Area 2,
The
Area
areas.
5, and Area.
Don't state them, yeah.
Don't say-
The
okay.
areas.
The areas, okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember I don't have the areas memorized by heart, though.
No, I just think it's important for the public to know that we didn't want this to happen, but it has happened, that trustee Wright stepping down, and now that District
District
6.
6, and that's item
Will-
7.3.
That's
That's
a
item
separate
7,
item.
that's the next item.
Oh, right, I'll get into that.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sure you know that, you know. So,
This is just for.
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
okay, so do we vote now? Let's vote now. It hasn't come up yet, so. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, it's unanimous, 7-0 with a student trustee advisory vote of yes. And now we move on to item 7.3, which is, and it's recommended that the board adopt Resolution 1214 notifying the Orange County Board of Education to hold a special election to fill the vacancy of trustee Area 6, requesting that it be consolidated with the trustee regular biannual election on November 8th. And the board believes this is the most equitable way to do it, so.
So moved.
Okay, so second,
Second.
Prendergast,
Well,
second by trustee Whit-Rydell.
You can. I think it's more importantly to note it avoids an appointment process.
Yeah, it
And
does.
allows it to go to the voters.
That's what I meant, it's
fill
more
a
equitable.
position.
It allows people to vote for it. That's what I meant. We decided that, so you could explain it, that the board, that it brings it to the population instead of being an appointment by the board. And this is, because trustee Wright's term is, he would run in 4 years. This is, the people would be running for a 2-year term in that election. And then they could run again in 2 years. So, do we have a motion and a second?
I motion.
Okay,
Trustee Whit-Rydell second.
okay, so can we vote on it? Thank you. I didn't see the voting coming up, so I. So, okay, yes. Okay, so the vote was 7-0, with an advisory vote by the student of yes. And item number 7.4 is trustees' request for attending conferences, and this is the ACCT conference in New York, October 26th to 29th, right before the election. So do we have a motion and a second for this? Okay, trustee Inman votes yes, makes the motion.
I second it.
And trustee Jay seconds it. Can we please vote for this? Okay, yes. And the next one are, let's. I think it takes a little while to come up.
There it is.
There it is. So now it's 7-0 with a student advisory vote of yes. Okay, for if anybody wants to attend this conference. So the board policy revision, this is for approval. We actually saw these board policies last month, and this is for approval of the same policies. Do we have a motion and approval of this?
So moved.
Trustee Jay makes the motion and
Second.
trustee Prendergast makes a second. Seconds it, sorry. These are for graduation requirements, final examinations, open enrollment, and volunteer assistance. And it's unanimous, 7-0 with the student trustee advisory vote of yes. The next one is a board policy revision. This one's for review and study, so we could vote on it for review and study. And it's on the EOPS programs and services, and there's one minuscule change in it. So do we have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Trustee Jay makes the motion and trustee Inman seconds it. Now we can vote. So it's unanimous, 7-0 with the trustee student advisory vote of yes as well. The next item is 8.1, District-Wide Technology Strategic Master Plan, and it will be a presentation by Vice Chancellor Chris McDonald and our consultant.
Good afternoon, trustees. What we have for you today is the district-wide strategic technology master plan. And we worked with Plant Moran, and you will actually have the presentation being done by Marvin Sawyer from Plant Moran. Before Marv takes over, I would just like to point out that once the board approves the plan, we will start to implement the plan. In the coming board meetings, you will receive a lot of information from me and my office. And in particular, what we want to do is look at what we call our enterprise resource planning system. Currently, just for reference, our ERP is comprised of Workday and a homegrown student information system. So what we will do over the summer and take the fall governance is a review of a product called Banner, which would be a single commercial ERP system, and we will compare that product to what we are currently doing. So just know that there's a lot more to come, and I'll turn it over to Marv from Plant Moran at this time.
Thank you, Chris. Chancellor Burke, trustees, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and present the district-wide technology master plan. Oh, we'll go this way. So what we wanted to share with you was a little bit about the planning process. You're familiar because you've been going through this in a lot of different areas. We wanted to make sure you knew that this was really aligned with the educational master plan, looked at your facilities master plan. We looked at as well all the other plans and efforts going on in South Orange County Community College District. And I have to say, one of the things that we started with was an assessment, because it's very difficult to do planning if you don't know where you are. And we came in as outsiders to try and understand that, and we had quite a bit of participation in that process. Students, faculty, staff have been doing technology strategic master planning for 15 years. This is the most active participation we've ever had in a master plan. We did this over, obviously remotely, using collaboration tools, but the level of pride and input that we had, this is truly your plan. A lot of times it's a Plant Moran plan that the institution kind of approves. This is truly a South Orange Community College District plan, so you should be proud of the efforts of everyone that was involved, and it was quite a few people that were involved in that process. And if you look, this is the vision and mission for the plan and we refer to it as the DTSMP. We have to have acronyms with technology, so that's what we refer to it as, and this is the vision and mission. You guys did not aim yourself too short. If you look at the vision, preeminent leader in higher ed, to be empowering our students to be successful with innovative technologies. Remember, this is a 10-year plan, so it should be far-reaching. And you can see as well the mission that's included in there. I'm not going to read that one to you. But we have a vision, mission. We then have what we call either focus areas or goals, and there were 5. And one was focused on innovation to actually complement the vision. One was focused on governance. You'll see that. One was focused on the solutions that are being provided. One was focused on how do we deliver services to support our students, faculty, and staff. And then finally, in this day and age, you can't have a good technology master plan without focusing on cybersecurity, and the 5th is focused on security. Now, as part of this plan, those were 5 goals. There were objectives under each one of those goals, 3 to 4. And then we created, again, through our assessment, initiatives or projects, if you will, that if those are accomplished, they will move you forward on the objectives that have been set, move you forward on the goals that will eventually then move you towards that vision that's been set and achieving the mission that is part of it. We did not have a shortage of initiatives. You'll see there's 136 of them. Again, it's over a 10-year period of time, but it's quite a few, and we then took those and tried to correlate them to the 5 goals. And you can see on this, it gives you how many of the initiatives were aligned to each of the goals. They could have aligned to other goals as well. This was the major goal that they aligned to. Well, 136 initiatives is quite a few initiatives to take in. And so one of the things the steering committee, the DTSMP steering committee did, this was the group that we met with on a monthly, sometimes more than monthly basis to work through this planning process. They said, you know, it's a little difficult for folks to digest all of this. So they came up with 17 themes that each of those initiatives really addressed. And we correlated each of the initiatives then to these themes. But you can see these are a little bit more bite-sized, if you will, and easier for people then to look at, well, you know, you have these goals and objectives and all these initiatives. These are really the areas of focus now of all of those initiatives. You can't have a good plan without a budget. And you'll see here what we did. We worked with your steering committee to create prioritization criteria and a rubric for taking each of those initiatives and prioritizing them and putting them then, we put them in 5 tiers. Those are 2-year buckets, if you will. And you see initiatives were grouped by tier, 34, for example, in tier 1. And what you see then is we have 2-year windows of time, year 1 and 2, and what the budget is for that. And it runs across because tier 1 goes the entire 10 years. Tier 2 actually starts in year 3, and that's why you see it running across like that. And you see then the budget allocated by tier, by years, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, et cetera. And obviously, you have multiple tiers represented in those years the further along you go. And then finally, we wanted to leave you with a process for really governing and maintaining and updating the plan. You can't have a technology plan that you don't review on a regular basis. And that prioritization criteria gives you the ability then to update and adjust as changes occur, as the budget is adjusted. 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, you might not have had a pandemic in your ideas or plans. And so gives you the ability to adjust. We use the district-wide technology committee as the governing body, because that's a group that has representation across district services as well, across the district, as well as both of the colleges. And then we use district IT, both Irvine Valley and Saddleback College committees and IT groups. And we want to make sure the district-wide online education committee is included as well. And the idea is the activities and results of efforts associated with the plan will be communicated out to all of the different participatory governance committees that you have in South Orange County Community College District. So with that, I will
Trustee
open up
Prendergast,
to
some
questions
questions also.
or comments.
Yeah, I have a couple. If you can go back to the previous slide, the project portfolio overview. Just curious, you have the 2-year increments. The budget amounts there, are you looking at those or like split in half? Are you gonna have to front load a little bit at the beginning of each of the 2-year cycles? What is the projection on that aspect of the budgeting?
So those are, you're asking, are they?
So yeah, it's 31.6 for years 1 and 2. Is that divided evenly in half each year, or is it like 21 million beginning of that and then 11.6 after it? Like, how is that kind of parsed out?
The budget is not evenly split. In fact, year 1 begins July 1st, and these projects are above baseline, so technically year 1 is not currently funded.
Okay, so that answered my question. And then the second question I have on the governance structure, the next slide, where does ATEP fall into that? Is it just falling under the 2 colleges or the district IT?
That's correct. ATEP would fall under the colleges, since both colleges will have facilities at ATEP.
Okay. So we have outside entities using ATEP as part of our leasing agreements. Do they provide their own technology, or do we have some sort of an infrastructure support system for those entities using the properties? Or a little of
I'm not
both?
certain, but I would assume they would provide their own. Vice Chancellor Gabe?
Yes, they'll provide their own technology.
Okay. Thank you.
Trustee Jamal?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for condensing it from 90 pages to 8 pages. It's very much appreciated. And the second, a couple other questions. Chris, so how do you see this plan taking us in a different direction from the plan under the prior regime?
Well, one of the first things we want to look at, and it's outlined in the plan, is to take a look at the enterprise resource planning system. So that's sort of the big thing that we need to look at right away. So having Workday and then a homegrown student information system, it's not fully integrated. I think the team has done well historically, and what we want to do, because the Foundation for the California Community Colleges, they're offering discounts with Banner, and we are able to use or piggyback on their agreement, is to take a look at the best that Banner can offer, and we're doing a strategic pause to take a look at that over the summer, primarily with staff and management, go through governance in the fall, and we'll bring information to the board then. That actually drives a lot of what we would do for the remainder of the plan. a lot of items that we're slated to develop, should we decide to switch the banner, we would not develop. So the unit would have to be reorganized. And I always caution that there are still staff and implications beyond licensing, right? So even if you have a commercial system, we still innovate and we still do some development on the side. But the primary system that students are using, faculty and staff are using for human resource, business, and the entirety of the back end would just be one system, should we decide that that's the way to go.
And just a quick follow-up. In terms of your worldview of IT at the district, do you view that the IT, district IT is there to support the two colleges?
Yeah, I firmly believe, and have said many times, we're a service organization. So we're trying to provide the best service, decent value, taking into account the pain that users feel, taking into account that we do need to make some improvements over time for a lot of the initiatives that the colleges want to take care of.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? I have a few questions. First of all, you probably know that our district, for many, many years, has been like in the forefront of IT. You know, we've really been like kind of groundbreaking projects that we've done, you know, with MySite and a lot of other things. We were like the first district to do push-button registration. That was many years ago. So we've always been like number one. And another thing I want to, and I kind of enjoyed hearing about it and getting involved in some of it, and even making some suggestions over the years. But I enjoyed that. So anyway, I really do appreciate that you're coming to us before all the decisions were made, that you're coming to us in the middle of it while you're still thinking about what decisions can be made. So you didn't come with us with like a finished project and say, this is it, you have to do this or nothing, you know, that we're kind of in the middle of the process. So I enjoyed that. So thanks so much. Is that everything? Okay, so is there a motion and a second for this?
I so move.
Trustee Inman makes the motion, and
I think it's just presentation.
just present.
We don't vote on it, do we?
You need to approve it.
We need to approve the.
So it's a presentation and the plan?
Yes.
Right, that's
Yeah.
right.
Okay. So is there a second?
I second it.
Okay, Trustee Inman makes the motion, and Trustee Jay seconds it. So please vote.
Why did it say abstain?
I don't know.
You can change your vote in the upper right.
I think you can vote.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, the motion was passed 7-0 with a student advisory vote of yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the next motion, the next item is 8.2, district-wide equal employment opportunity, diversity, equity, and inclusion plan.
I will introduce this item, board members. This is an item that you approve every year. It is the Equal Employment Opportunity Plan Multiple Methods Allocation Certification. This is for 2021, 2022. And since I came in 2017, I have tried to attract and hire some of the best talent in the region, and you have two folks before you that will give the presentation, Ann Chua and Kavai Tenio.
Great, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ann Chua. I'm the Director of EEO Equity and Compliance Programs. I am here to present on EEO Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. First, I'd like to start with some of the updates from the State Chancellor's Office. As of last July, the Board of Governors adopted new EEO regulations that have made substantial changes to the timeline and the process for submitting EEO plans to the state. Ours is actually set to expire this year. The Chancellor's Office is currently redesigning the EO plan template which will require all districts to use this template. So we are waiting for that to be released in order to prepare for our new EO plan. So of course, to avoid submitting two EO plans, the Chancellor's Office is allowing districts up to a 9-month extension, including us, right? Because we're set to expire this year. And again, the reason for that extension is because the certification of the new regulations is still pending with the Department of Finance. And for our next segment, I'm happy to introduce my colleague.
Good evening. My name is Kavai Tinio. I'm the Human Resources Information Systems Manager. And tonight I'm going to be going over a snapshot of our current workforce and our applicant pool. So when we look at this data, we break it out by EEO6 category. So it's listed along the bottom of your slide there. I'll go through each quickly since this is the first time we are presenting for the board. Skilled crafts would be like your trades, automotive, plumbing, HVAC. Service maintenance would be more grounds and facilities. Professional non-faculty would include creative services such as marketing. Technical, professional, paraprofessional would be your IT software developers. We have executive, administrative, managerial, faculty and other instructional staff, full-time and part-time, and then of course secretarial and clerical. So every year in October, we collect this data. So as of October 31st, 2021, we had a total of 2,324 employees. When we look at this group through the lens of gender, we really don't see anything unusual, right? The data is quite as expected. Going forward, we're going to be adding non-binary categories. Okay. When we look at our current workforce by ethnicity, we break it out a little bit differently. We're going to highlight the top 4 groups that represent our workforce, those being white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian Pacific Islander, and Black or African American. In the state of California, ethnicity is defined as Hispanic, Latino, yes or no question. And then you have race where you can select multiple options. To best capture that Hispanic Latino group, we have characterized anybody who answered yes to that ethnicity question as Hispanic Latino. So again, looking through the lens of ethnicity, we don't see anything too surprising. I want to draw your attention to the right-hand side of the slide where we have our faculty and other instructional staff, both part-time and full-time. You'll see that we have some higher percentages there. And so those will be the areas that we're going to be targeting and working on with this new EEO plan. Now we're going to look at our applicant pools. So again, we've broken it out by gender. You'll notice there's another category here. We have other and unknown in the lime green. This is because many of our applicants have decided not to disclose their gender. Okay, again, no new surprises here. We will be adding non-binary categories to this as well going forward. And then our applicant pool by ethnicity, same kind of thing. We are focusing on the top 4 groups: white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian Pacific Islander, Black or African American. It's important to note that we have 35% of our applicants not disclose their ethnicity. So really this is representative of 65% of our applicant pool. Okay. Going forward, we will continue to provide these snapshots of where we are at. In addition to some longitudinal analysis, we want to look at trends in the workplace and how we can better align with the new EEO plan. So with that, I will turn it back over to Anne.
So I'm going to go over our EO multiple method certification form. You know, in order for the district to receive EO funds, we have to meet at least 7 of the 9 methods. So on this slide, you see the first 5. Here's 6 through 9. The district is proud to announce that we've met 8 out of the 9 multiple methods. Specifically, for the first time this year, we're actually meeting method number 9, Grow Your Own Programs, with the launch of Bloom, Building Leadership Opportunities Through Outstanding Mentorship. Bloom is a faculty internship program that provides those that are interested in becoming future community college faculty with hands-on experience or opportunity to preview the inner workings of this career. Now, I'd like to take a moment to actually recognize and thank the academic senates. It's because of them that with their support and their continued partnership that Bloom we look forward for it to continue blossoming in the coming years. Pun intended. But yeah, so these are some of the goals for the Bloom program. The program will place a special emphasis on recruiting applicants that have direct experience with historically marginalized and disproportionately impacted populations. So that is in alignment with actually Goal 1, which is to enhance student success through attracting and supporting diverse and inclusive future faculty, establish opportunities with mentorship beyond the program, offer participants experience in the community college classrooms, professional development opportunities, provide graduate students and professionals in the field comprehensive access to community college constituencies and spaces. And of course, number 5, Bloom is essentially a pipeline program to diversify the faculty applicant pools in our districts and the system at large. So this is the projected timeline of the Bloom program. In the fall of 2020, we anticipate recruiting mentors and interns. And by the end of the semester, we're going to pair the mentors and interns. And then by spring of 2023, we will have our orientation for the interns and then do the first round of the program. And then by the fall 2023, we're going to look into a new faculty cohort. Now, I do want to also note that eligibility for this program is focused on applicants with no paid college community teaching experience. So on that note, I also want to highlight that the district is going to work separately and closely with our academic senates to ensure that there's additional training and professional development for our current part-time faculty. But that's it.
Any questions?
No, very interesting. Are there any questions?
TJ, then I have one.
Trustee Prendergast?
Yeah, just trying to get more specifics on how we're going to address method 3, the incentives for hard-to-hire areas. Or are we?
So that is the toughest one.
Yeah.
I know that years ago, there was up north, there was incentives from hospitals related to faculty, nursing faculty hires. That has since not been a way forward. So we would still be looking at what might be opportunities, but there's not a lot of ideas out there for this particular component because it would literally mean we're either paying additional funds to hire these highly specialized area fields, or we're doing something with corporate America or private sector to attract and retain those with incentives from those organizations. So it just, number 3 is probably the hardest one for us to attack in terms of fulfilling that obligation.
So if this is a state-recommended obligation, then they have not offered any help in meeting it? Or is there any discussion or input that we might have to say maybe remove a method that is almost impossible to achieve?
So they certainly haven't offered any funds, statewide funds, to support that method. I think they intend for us to look at district comparisons to see what other districts are doing in a creative way. And we're looking forward to seeing if these changes to Title V get approved. And right now, they are with the Board of Governors, and then they also have to be approved by the Department of Finance. So I'm not really certain that number 3 is going to have a robust number of ideas at this point in time. But they continue to have it as a method, even though very few districts even offer a way to meet it.
So is that something our lobbying groups can get involved with? Or, how do we maybe make that clear to the state that they've got, A, an unfunded mandate, and B, an almost impossible expectation?
Yeah, my colleague down at San Diego Community College District, Gregory Smith, has been working on this item. And so I've had discussions with him, and he would be the one that would take it back for human resource departments from the statewide scenario to, and the ACRO, Association of Chief Human Resource Officers, to take back to the statewide task force our concerns about method number 3.
Thank you.
So this is a hugely important topic. There's so many issues within here. We're not going to be able to cover them all. I'm wondering, overall, would you say, looking broadly at, all employment categories, that we've made decent progress on gender parity, but not as much on racial and ethnic hiring?
So I will take this one.
Okay.
The it's well known that the place in which we need to make the most progress and haven't made significant progress, in my view, is in part-time and full-time faculty hires. It's our toughest challenge. In terms of, we have to hire individuals that have master's degrees in specific disciplines. And you are limited to the ethnicity of the folks that are getting those master's degrees. And so there's not a lot of data out there for us to see what is the opportunity for those that we can recruit and hire. So we need to look at, regional and even district-wide hiring fairs so that we can bring folks in from the region. We can give them a better understanding of how to be successful in our recruitments, and then not only attracting talent in ethnically diverse background, from folks with ethnically diverse backgrounds, but also making sure that we can retain them once we hire them. And so our focus right now with the Grow Your Own program, the Bloom program, is specifically to focus on bringing in folks that are the most ethnically diverse from brand new master's programs. They've just received their master's degree. They don't have any teaching experience, and then matching them with master teachers here in the district in disciplines that we intend to hire in the future, so that we can bring them in, have them mentored. Hopefully then they'll be hired as part-time faculty, and then again, we'll work with both our current part-time faculty and this mentorship program to prepare them to be successful in recruitments here at South Orange.
So you touched on what was going to be my next question, which was going to be the addressing the faculty employment. And I wanted to ask, I'd love to hear what Margot and Dan have to say, but I'm wondering, developing this talent pipeline. Do we need to extend the meeting?
Yeah, we need,
Yes,
it's
we do.
8:53, somebody needs to make a
Okay, I
motion
move
to
to extend the meeting to 9:30.
So do you make a motion? Okay, so trustee Jamal makes a motion to extend the meeting to 9:30.
I second it.
Second by trustee Jay, or did somebody else second it? Trustee Jay seconded.
Jay.
Okay, now we'll vote on it, because otherwise we have to end the meeting at 9 o'clock.
So wait just a minute, because she has to type it in.
Yeah, it takes a few minutes for her to type it in. Sorry you have to do that. And now
not
we
done
vote
yet.
on it when we can see it.
Okay.
Okay, there it is.
Which one? Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll read and I'll ask, okay? Okay, the final resolution is unanimous, and it's 7 voted yes, no, 0 no, and the student trustee voted yes. So we can move on, and trustee Inman has a question now?
I wasn't done, hold on.
Okay, trustee
So,
Jamal finishes?
just finishing that, so is the solution, encouraging more people of color to go into, Masters of Education programs? Is it done at the bachelor's level, and then, or even high school? And then the second question is there, and take this in the spirit it is, if we do more distance learning, will that help, will that broaden the applicant pool for our, to hire more diverse faculty?
For your last question, I don't know that that will better diversify our hiring pool. I don't know that it would or wouldn't at this point. To your other question, and I'll let Margot and Dan speak to this, our ultimate hope and goal would be to take existing students at Saddleback and Irvine Valley College, eventually connect them to tutoring services, and make a connection with our own students, that then they become employed as tutors in our district, and then they are inspired to then go to the bachelor's degree, and then we can keep them connected to our campuses while they're attending a four-year institution, potentially if it's near or in this region. And then ultimately, when they get their master's degree, we have a connection and a pipeline from students here in our own district all the way through the bachelor's and master's program and back. That was the program that now is defunct at the Coast District that was in place when I was there. It's a model that we'd like to see here. But in the meantime, the Bloom program will open up applications to any individual that has recently gotten their master's degree but has no teaching experience and can't get into our system. It's a very closed system. And so that's what the intent of the Bloom program is immediately. And then long-term, it would be to grow our own students into instructors.
Yeah, if I could comment just a little bit, one of the advantages of going to a place like UC Irvine for most students is that, at least in the program that I went through, my first course was in pedagogy, and then I had 2 years of supervised instruction on how to teach. That does not happen at 95% of the places, and what Bloom would allow us to do is to imitate something like that, and imitate it without cost to the student as well, which would make it highly desirable. So that's, these are the sorts of things that we can look at investing and not covering the costs of someone's education, which is another method that some places use.
I think Margot was going to say something.
You know what, maybe ask the question and maybe I'll answer those because I'm not really, I don't really have anything to add on to what Dan has said on this particular point.
Thank you. I think trustee Inman was next, and then trustee Pendergast after that.
My question had to do, since I'm one of the newer ones, see, she's newer than I am, though.
Yeah, see.
What I'm interested in is, over the last 10 years, has there been improvement in these numbers and these amounts of people, in the different categories?
There has been improvements. We don't have a longitudinal study yet. That's what my folks will be working on next. But we have made improvement, certainly. We know that. We just can't give you the numbers tonight.
Okay. The other thing I had was, my husband was in student teacher supervisor, and it was really sad how many people were halfway through their master's program and decided they didn't really want to teach because it wasn't what they thought it was, and so the one that you're talking about, where you have people actually do something early and then they find out, well, these kids don't behave right, so, or whatever the problem is that makes people dislike the profession and go very far, spend a lot of money, and then say, no, thanks. So.
Yeah, and in this program, we're excited to see our master teachers kind of, foster this love of teaching to individuals that want to take on an internship circumstance.
Yeah, I think the earlier the better.
So just something that Dan DeRelay said and some other, it dawned on me. I mean, my first venture into the master's world was community college instruction at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale. At that time, there was only 2 other programs like that in the country. But one of the successes of that program was because of the diversity of the campus. And I'm curious if there's a way, or if there are programs like that, if that's grown. Like, I have no idea if there's ways to maybe see if any colleges would be up for implementing something like that in a more diverse setting to help foster that as a program. But it just seems to me that just reaching out to people who have masters in specific subjects and then trying to inspire them to teach goes to what Trustee Inman was saying, is teaching is a noble profession, but it isn't for everybody. And if there's a way to reach out, as to the way Trustee Jamal was saying, reach out to high school counselors in more diverse areas and reach, as that be a suggestion for their students. Hey, you don't want to teach elementary or high school or middle school, but why not be a college professor at a local community college? Or reach out to students who are in the education track already and become a little disillusioned by being in the classroom as an intern, unpaid, going, oh my gosh, this is crazy, I don't want to do this, but not let them quite give up on maybe their passion for wanting to be a teacher. just seems like there's so much opportunity for that out there.
There's
So
certainly,
just, you know, there, just to be clear, that minimum qualifications in the state of California, and it may be different in other states, does require for most disciplines a master's degree in a subject. You can't get a master's in education and then teach anything.
Right, well, the community college instruction program I was in, I had to pick a discipline. My discipline was history. So it was teaching you how to be a teacher. It taught you the history of the community colleges nationally. It taught you instructional methods. It taught you special ed. It taught you everything you needed to know to be a good instructor. But you also had to pick a subject discipline.
So that you
in
got a
order to be
master,
able-
but you have to have a master's degree
Correct.
in history.
Right.
I think certainly outreach efforts to high schools and helping, seniors identify a pathway forward would be an option for us. In my experience, though, it has been instructors in the classroom changing a heart and mind of a student and having that student fall in love with a subject or a discipline. That's where the real change happens. And then that instructor then has a vested interest in that student going forward to a bachelor's program and a master's program, and then keeping that connection and hopefully have that student come back and apply for either this internship program, or if they have teaching experience at the four-year level, to come back and apply directly for a part-time faculty position. So we have committed to this internship program for folks that just get their master's and don't have any teaching experience. Then we've committed with the faculty senates to also do some additional programming for our current part-time faculty to help them prepare and be successful in our recruitments.
Thanks. Thank you. Are there any other questions? Okay, I think, no questions?
And this item does require a vote.
Yeah, so. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
Okay, so one of you said, so I'll do, trustee Inman made the motion, trustee Prendergast seconded it, okay? Well, thank you for the presentation.
You need to vote, Jim.
Everyone voted? Great. Okay, so that was approved unanimously with a student trustee advisory vote of yes. So thank you. And the next, we're going to the consent calendar. Does anyone have any items to pull from the consent calendar? I'll just pull item number 9.4 just to say 2 words about it, okay? Okay, can we vote on the rest of the consent calendar with the exception of item 9.4?
So moved. You need a motion.
So moved.
Okay, so there's a, I think trustee Prendergast made the motion and trustee Jay seconded it. Okay, now we can vote on the item.
Did you get it? I didn't get it. Oh, there it goes.
Okay, it was unanimous with the student advisory vote of yes. So thank you. Item 9.4 is student out-of-state travel, and it's to approve, just changing the dates of the Astronomy and Physics Club to go to the Mars Rover Challenge in Hanksville, Utah. And I talked to the Professor Matt Hayari, Professor of Physics, and there are 36 teams presenting, and Saddleback College is the only community college, and there are all these highly prestigious colleges, MIT and Caltech and, Princeton, and Saddleback College will be there. And the finals will be June 1 to 4, and then they'll find out on June the 5th if they win. And I went to a presentation by the biology students. Their biology experiment they're putting on their Mars rover is something to test whether there's ATP or adenosine triphosphate and on Mars. And if there is ATP, they concocted this scheme that they have some kind of phosphorescence that they got from fireflies that will light up if there's ATP, and that will show that there is life on Mars. So all in all, it's a very exciting, very exciting program, and the fact that Saddleback College is the only community college is really something. So good luck to the team. Okay, I'll make the motion to pass it. Is there a second? I don't know if I'm.
I second it.
Okay, and trustee Inman will second it, okay?
That was more than 2 words.
Right, was there more than 2 minutes?
2 words.
Yes, it was more than 2 words, you're right. I just had to do it. I was so excited about it, you know? Oh, that passed unanimously with the student advisory vote of yes. Okay, the next item is 9.10, declare,
10.1. 10.1.
yeah, 10.1, sorry. Village, these are Village 9 restrooms and tenant improvement project at Saddleback College, and awarded the bid to JCOS Development Incorporated. So is there a motion?
So moved.
Trustee Jay makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
And trustee Whit Rydell seconds it, sorry. We can vote on it now. And that's, it's a unanimous vote with the student advisory vote of yes. So thank you. And the next one is Irvine Valley College Outdoor Learning Spaces Project. And we're awarding the bid of $2,163,000 to Sanders Construction Company. We're asking $1 million of our local legislators to see if they'll help us get the funding from them, from the state. So we're working on it. They're working on it. So is there a motion and a second?
So moved.
Trustee Jay made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from trustee Jamal. Please vote.
Hopefully with a $95 billion surplus,
Yeah, they'll give us our $1
can
million
find a way.
for the outdoor living. It's an outdoor area for teaching, and it's going to be a swing space if the,
Although half of the 95 billion does go to Prop 98 funding.
yeah, and we get 40% of that, right?
We don't get 40% of Prop 98 funding.
Yeah, don't the community colleges get 40% of Prop 98 money?
10.93.
God, that'd be great.
Oh.
We could,
Yeah,
our
yeah.
lobbyists could,
Yeah,
we
that's
give them a
right.
big bonus if they did that.
That's right. Yeah, that's what we were asking years ago. But that comes off the top of the state budget, you're right. But you're right. I worked on getting that Prop 98 passed years ago. Okay, it was decided unanimously, 7-0, with a trustee advisory vote of yes. So it's unanimous. The next one is adopt resolution 2213, the Hydro Point Data Systems Weather Track as the district standard for the irrigation management equipment. And this is just for Saddleback College and the Advanced Technology Education Park. Because IVC already has one of these projects, so they don't need it right now. In the future, they might. Okay, is there a motion and a second?
So moved.
So moved, trustee Pendergast makes motion, and trustee Whitwell seconds. Oh, now we can vote on it. Okay, and it was passed unanimously, 7-0, with this trustee advisory vote of yes. So now we move on to the 10.4, the access and option agreement with the Southern California University of Health Sciences for ATEP. Is there a motion and a second for that?
So moved.
Trustee Jay makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
That's trustee Inman seconds it. Now we can vote on it. It's unanimous, 7-0, with the trustee advisory vote of yes. And our next item is the employees, the academic employees and classified administrators. Are there any changes, trustee, Vice Chancellor Viscachill?
No changes,
No
thank you.
changes, okay, great. Was there a motion and a second?
So moved.
So, okay, trustee Inman makes the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second, trustee Prendergast makes a second. Okay, there's two things I have to bring up. There's 15 new professors hired on this agenda. That's huge. And we're really welcoming these new professors to work with our students. We're really excited about it. And there's 2 resignations, separations. One is Kevin O'Connor, which we heard about before. The Dean of Liberal Arts is retiring after 22 years and 11 months. And Larry Radden, our wonderful speech instructor at Saddleback College, who's been at Saddleback College for 27 years, and who's going to read the names at commencement? Okay, everybody can vote on this item now. And there's, it was passed 7-0, with the student trustee making.
Student trustee does not vote on HR items.
Okay, right, okay, great, because that's personnel items, thank you. And the next one is 11.2, classified personnel actions. Are there any changes on this one?
No changes,
No
thank you.
changes? Is there a motion and a second?
So moved.
Trustee Inman makes the motion, and is there a second?
Second.
Second, and trustee Jamal seconds it. I'd have to mention 2 people. Thomas Burrows, a senior laboratory technician, is retiring after 37 years and 7 months from Saddleback College in Math, Science, and Engineering. And Adelpha Garcia, district accounting system specialist, is retiring after 18 years. Okay, now we can vote on it. That was passed unanimously, 7-0. The next item is the initial proposal on mutually agreed reopener between the district and CSEA, and it's chapter 586. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Trustee Jamal makes the motion, and trustee Whit Rydell makes the second. So now we can vote on it.
This is information only. I do not believe you vote on
Oh, we don't vote on this? This is okay, it's information about the.
review and study, and then
Okay,
next
thank you.
board meeting, we'll bring it back.
Okay, oh, this is for review and study. And this is I guess I won't explain it, we know what it's about. Okay, then item 12.1 is the academic calendar. And this was for review and study last month, and this is for approval. So 23-24 academic calendar. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Trustee Jay makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Trustee Prendergast makes a second. Okay, now we can vote on it.
Just want to say one thing I'm going to miss is trustee Wright's comments about the academic calendar.
Yeah, we'll miss his comments about everything. You're right. Do you have any comments? It's okay.
For those of us that remember.
Yeah.
I can say that now, wow.
Yeah, you can.
I don't know if that's good.
Okay, and now we can vote on it? And the rest are just information items, and I don't think I need to read the information. And then we could go down to the chancellor, the vice chancellor, and the vice chancellor of business services, and the Irvine Valley College president, the Saddleback College president had written reports that were really informative, and some of them were 5 or 6 pages. They really explained what was going on in the colleges and what was going on in the state budget. It was just really excellent, important information. And I'm going to ask if there are any oral reports. Chancellor Dr. Kathleen Burke, do you have an oral report?
I just want to echo my thoughts are with the families in Laguna Woods and in Buffalo. And I'd like to thank you for the World Hunger Resolution. That's, my heritage is from Ireland. My father was born there. My relatives and ancestors survived the famine. Actually, they call it the hunger in Ireland because there was plenty of food, because they were still shipping food off the island when that occurred in the mid-1800s. So, and they've continued to lose, they've never recovered in terms of population. They had a population of close to 9 million at that time, and just in 2021, they exceeded 5 million for the first time since all of those people were lost.
From starvation?
It was a combination of starvation and disease related to starvation, and then also the diaspora
Okay, well,
that resulted
fascinating.
from it.
You know, just everybody's ethnic background is so interesting and so heartfelt to everyone. It just makes a hole in your heart when you think about some of the things in your family's history, you know, as you say. So thank you so much for saying that. Irvine Valley College President, Dr. John Hernandez.
Thank you. I know it's late. I do want to recognize that this time of year, we are truly celebrating our student accomplishments, as you have witnessed by attending various events at both colleges. There is one student I do want to commend, and that is IVC student Brittany Kester, who has been awarded the Jack Kent Cook Transfer Scholarship, which is a very prestigious award. She will receive up to $55,000 annually for up to 3 years. There were over 1,200 applicants from 42 states. They selected 100 high-achieving students. For those of you who attended the scholarship ceremony, you heard her story. She was one of our student speakers, and she is truly deserving. The community college system and faculty who in the classroom truly instilled a belief in her potential, and she's off to great things. And then, of course, commencement, look forward to Thursday. As of today, we had 429 students registered, which I understand is a record number at IVC, and we're anticipating approximately 2,500 guests. So looking forward to seeing many of you there. Thank you.
Oh, good, thank you so much.
Is there a commencement speaker? Like a keynote?
We do not have a commencement speaker this year. The primary speaker is Dr. Emily Liu, who is our Teacher of the Year. And as many of you heard, she is one of the finalists for next year's Teacher of the Year award.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
So has
One
it?
of the 5
I'm
finalists.
going to look at it at the time. Have we dismissed of the notion of having commencement speakers? Because it was such a, it seemed like a turbulent process.
We took a hiatus this year and we're revisiting that.
Okay.
Thank you. That's wonderful. In 21, one of the Saddleback College professors was one of the 5 top people of the year, and now one of the IVC's teachers, one of the 5 top people of the year. Very exciting. Okay, Dr. Elliott Stern, do you have any
Just a few acknowledgements of people at the college, disciplined faculty, curriculum experts, senates, and their respective deans for approving about a half dozen new credentials of the college that you approved tonight in curriculum modifications. These are new programs that look to the future and look for expansion of our existing enrollment audience, including interior design, digital production, sustainable food systems, HR, and database administration. I also want to congratulate our manager of the year at Saddleback, Zachary Guajardo, And I want to give a hearty congratulations to a person who I support. That's our Vice President of Instruction, Tram Vokumoda, who is now incoming president of the CIO group for the entire state. Congratulations, Tram. And we are very fortunate that we don't necessarily plan on having commencement speaker this year. Thanks to our good friend of the college, Congressmember Mike Levin will be our commencement speaker.
Great.
So we look forward to seeing him. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you. So I'm looking forward to the commencement. Okay, Business Services, Dr. Anne Marie Gable, do you have any comment? I know you also did a report in the agenda.
Right, so I won't rehash the details of the May revise, but just if the board has any questions, you can let me know. However, we will be incorporating much of it in our tentative budget, which we'll be bringing to the board next month for the June meeting. So TJ's lucky he won't be here.
So how many more times is the Department of Finance going to be wrong on their budget projections? So it wasn't like
Probably.
COVID was supposed to be, what, 56% reductions, Armageddon, and then the stock market booms, and of course, the budget was pretty good during COVID.
Yes, this is the best budget that I have ever seen in my career. I think it's the best budget for community colleges. And we're at record highs of how much is coming to the system. Much of that is one-time fund, but there is a lot of ongoing. So to answer your question, how many more times will the Department of Finance be wrong?
Yeah.
Probably till infinity. I
He
think.
knows.
But so
A
wrong,
lot of
but like
times
really
they-
wrong, not just like wrong, but like,
I mean, to their credit, they are building the budget in October for the next July is really, and they really kind of start in July for the next July. So I think it's difficult, but yeah, there's been some huge swings in the last couple of years, which makes everything extremely difficult.
it's capital gains. And that's what drives the budget,
Yes,
for the most part.
and let's hope the market turns by December 31st, otherwise next year won't be so rosy.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you. The Vice Chancellor of Business Services, the Vice Chancellor of Education and Technology, Dr. Chris McDonald, do you have anything to say? Or
No report at this time.
Okay, thank you, because we're just going to get under the wire, get it in. Vice Chancellor of Human Resources, Dr. Cindy Viscacho.
Yes, I do have something to say briefly. Dr. Wright, I want to thank you for your service to our district. It's been a pleasure to serve under you as a member of the board. And Margot, I know you're back as president-elect, but thank you for your service to Saddleback and for working with us this year. I want to take a brief moment to thank and acknowledge the tremendous work of Louis Long. In his previous role as chief negotiator and as president of the Faculty Association, I have found Louis to be quite simply one of the very best I've ever worked with. He is not only crazy smart, but also extraordinarily thoughtful, fair, and reasonable. He's a man of integrity and someone who is liked and respected by both his peers and the district's leadership team. Louis, I know you'll be continuing on as past president to the Faculty Association and in your role as a tenured English instructor at Irvine Valley College, but please know that I am extremely grateful to have worked with such a high-level professional for the past 5 years, and I will sincerely miss all of your free grammatical guidance. And I'm looking forward to welcoming Melanie. Thank you.
Negotiators
you so
throwing
much.
so much love to
Oh.
each other. I don't,
We just made it. The meeting is adjourned, right, with 5 minutes to spare. Okay, thank you, everybody. It was a good meeting. Thank you, good meeting.